Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So we just did some time traveling and tree planting in order to cure the Thunder Dragon of his ills, and he sung for us the third part of the Song of the Hero and also mentioned that he would have a reward for us. So let's go ahead and talk to him. We haven't waited very long. He told us to wait, which he's going to point out, but you know, it's ready apparently, so let's get this show started. So he's going to introduce to us just exactly what he's doing. He's to make this bit of fun more meaningful by taking us back through challenges we faced previously. Sometimes you gotta step backward to go forward, so apparently he's a budding philosopher as well. So yeah, sure, I'm game. What's up? Alright, so he's going to kind of peruse our memories here. So we've done some amazing things like battling fierce foes and overcoming the Silent Realm. So he's going to give us two different challenges we can do. So, of course, as he mentioned, we're going to be reliving past experiences. If you want to redo the Silent Realms for whatever reason, number one, you're a crazy person. Number two, well, you can, but we're going to be battling here. So he likes our Moxie, and he's going to pick from the toughest of opponents we've faced, which basically means that this is going to be a chance for us to refight the bosses that we fought previously in the game. And he's also going to mention this reward, an absurdly sturdy shield. And it sounds like something out of Earthbound or like, you know, Mother 3 or something like that. But if we lose, well, if we lose, it's all over. So you actually do get a game over if you manage to lose in this gauntlet. So, you know, might be worth saving beforehand. Probably a good idea. Alright, so now we get to pick kind of which group of enemies. All of our bosses are going to be split up. There's 4 in the beginning, 4 in the middle. And right now, the only later on boss we have unlocked is the Imprisoned 3, so if you pick later on, that's what it's going to be. I usually like to just start with the beginning, and then we're going to get to pick between a subset here. I usually just pick beginning Girahim because it's a very quick fight now since we have the Master Sword. So you know, that pretty much guarantees one fight that's done in like 20 seconds. So there's also a few extra stipulations. The only items we can use in battle are items we would have had at the time, so like, you know, no bombs on beginning Girahim. And we also can't use our pouch items. However, he's going to give us a little bit of an exception, and we can take the shield that's currently equipped. So basically, we're stuck with the shield we have on. We can't use our potions. Our life medals are nullified, which means we're maxed out at, I believe, 17 hearts right now if we take away the 2 we have equipped. So if we're ready, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so now that we're adequately psyched up, let's go ahead. And you can see we're basically thrown right back into the arena where we fought him the first time. There's also a timer going on. And like I mentioned before, we have the Master Sword, so... Oh wow, he actually caught it. Dude, come on, stop moving. Okay, this is embarrassing that I'm doing this badly on starting Girahim. Yeah, so there you go. It's literally just a few hits to go into each phase, so this is a very quick battle since our attack power is so high at this point. There, well, whatever, that works. Come on, just charge me. There you go. We can get our hits in, and oh. I think maybe like one more set and he'll be done. Yep, there we go. That's it. So yeah, it's definitely much faster this time, of course, since we are fully powered up now. And we kind of have our record time set here since it's the first time. And for the first time that you fight each of the bosses again, he's going to give us a little bit of a prize. We're going to get 50 rupees. And also, if you fight him subsequent times and beat your previous record, you'll get another 50 rupees. So I guess you can game the system by doing like terrible your first time and then doing a little bit better each time after that. But, you know, there are better rewards to get, so it's really not worth it. So, of course, the more battles we win, the better reward we're going to get, including a chance of this absurdly sturdy shield he keeps mentioning. And, of course, if we fail, that's the end. We lose everything. So this is, you know, it's a pretty standard setup. It's pretty easy to figure out. And, of course, our shield durability and hearts will carry over between battles. So if we quit now, we'll get 20 rupees. But if we continue and win again, we can get a small treasure. So obviously going to keep continuing to get better rewards. There are actually 2 things we're going for at this point. So let's go ahead and get to the second battle. From here on out, he's going to choose the opponents. Usually he seems to pick middle Girahim after the first one, so we'll see what he goes with. Okay, well he picked, what was this guy's name? Molderrock, maybe? Was that him? So yeah, we have our bombs we can take care of this guy with. So I'm not going to sit here, and we'll definitely be doing some editing for some of these boss fights, because this is all just stuff we've seen before, and especially battles like this that take a while. And we're going to be... Oh, that was pretty good. Got 3 shots in. But yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some cutting here, you know, especially with long bosses like this. Alright, and there's that boss taken out. As you can see, it took forever because I sucked and was not practiced, but there's the second boss down. So, as he mentioned, our reward for this tier would be a small treasure, and then once he finishes his death animation here, we can find out what we're going to get for the next fight. So of course, yeah, that 2 minutes is awful. I wish I had done it faster so I don't seem so terrible at this game. Alright, so we're going to get our 50 rupees for the first time refighting him, and our next win will net us a fabulous 100 rupees. So we're going to continue onward and see who we fight next. And he also tells you at this point how many more battles you've got till the end. So I've got 7 more at this point. And we're going to be fighting Middle Girahim. And down goes Girahim as well. That time is also actually pretty bad. I messed up a bit at the start, but oh well. Alright, so for that battle, of course, we would get 100 rupees, but the next will actually net us a piece of heart. So this is the first of the 2 rewards we're going to be trying for. So it's after we finish this battle, we'll have to quit in order to get our reward, and then we'll have to go through the whole gauntlet again for the next, and it looks like he's going to probably the imprisoned. Yes, okay, it is the imprisoned, so let's go ahead and finish this one off. This is actually the imprisoned one. He's not doing the shockwave, so check this out. We can take out all of his toes with 1 shot now, and when he's doing that, we can just come over here, take care of these, finish the back one off, finish this back one off, and down he goes. It's amazing how much easier these bosses are now with our super powered up sword. And the imprison is down once again. So that finishes up our 4th battle, and of course, as the Thunder Dragon said, we'll be able to get a piece of heart after this one, so... Again, this is another one that has a long death animation. And fortunately, no, you don't have to do the whole ceiling animation thing again. So once he explodes here, we'll be done. There he goes. I don't really know why you have to sit through all this. It would be a lot quicker if you just do the final strike as it's finished and then it fades out, you know, but oh well. Okay, so our spectacular skills, we have finished him off in a little over 2 minutes, which is really not that great again, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm definitely not, like, time attacking this here or anything. Alright, so we can quit now and get our piece of heart, which we're gonna do. Unfortunately, like, the whole counter starts over for the next reward we're gonna get, so we're gonna have to fight, like, all those guys again. But we battled hard, and he's going to give us our reward, which is a piece of heart. This will complete the heart container and give us our 20th heart, which means we are now completely done with pieces of heart, heart containers, all that stuff. We've got our 2 life medals, and our life is now at maximum. We are definitely a tank at this point. So, of course, the other reward we want to get is the absurdly sturdy shield. That's kind of hard to say, that he mentioned earlier, so we're going to have to be doing the gauntlet again here. There's 1. There's 2. That's 3. That makes 4. That makes number 5. That makes 6. That makes 7. And that makes 8. Now this one we're going to stick with because it turns out 8 was the magic number. So let's watch Galactus's kind of creepy death animation. There he goes. And some of these bosses take forever. It ends up kind of making this take a really long time, especially if you get Tantalus. Because I don't remember, I think that was over like 3 minutes, you know? So they add up. All in all, I actually have exactly 39 minutes of recorded footage right now, if that's any indication. So there we go. 2:58, almost 3 minutes for Galactus. And we get our 50 rupee prize. You can see those rupees have added up a little bit, but, you know, again, it doesn't really matter that much. So, of course, if we quit now, we'll get our absurdly sturdy shield. Next is 2,000 rupees, so let's just go ahead and quit. We're here for the shield. I'd hate to have to select the wrong option and do this all again. So, of course, we battled hard, and now he's going to give us our prize, which is the Hylian Shield. It's imbued with heroic power, and it's completely indestructible. So that's cool. You can actually get the Hylian Shield in this game. And, of course, it's the best of the best. It literally cannot be broken. Unfortunately, our pouch is full, so it's been sent to item check, which means we're definitely going to have to go and take that out sometime. But you can see I didn't actually take that much damage. Remember, the max is 18 when you're in there, so only a heart and a half. But we might as well go ahead and recover what is still empty here. And there we go, we are good. So at this point, that takes care of everything we need to do here in Lanayru Desert. Of course, you could continue battling beyond that. You could say, I think it said it was 2,000 rupees for the next prize. And then after that might be 3 rare treasures. And then like even more rupees, maybe like a few thousand, something like that. But it's also worth mentioning that if you replay this in hero mode, essentially the new game plus, for this, which is basically harder. You can actually replay the final boss for a total of 12 enemies, and if you defeat all 12 and basically run the gauntlet, you actually get 9,900 rupees, which will max out your rupee capacity no matter what wallet you have. So worth keeping in mind, I guess, if this late in the game, if you really need that many rupees, you know, maybe check this out, but like I've said before, rupees at this point are basically a problem of the past. We don't even have to worry about them at all at this point. Okay, so now we've learned our 3 parts of the Song of the Hero from each of the dragons, which means that we need to head back into the Thunderhead and talk to Levias about getting the 4th part. And looks like we've got some riders. This is one thing I do kind of like about the fly. They actually have the green uniforms on, like that one at the top did. I think the middle one had a blue one. But some of them have like the green uniforms, and they'll fly along with you for a while, so it's kind of cool. Tornado. Okay, anyway, yeah, we're going to head into Thunderhead, talk to Levias, so let's do that. Okay, so we're approaching Levias here. If we can get a proper angle to jump on him. He's like almost standing straight up. Can I land on this? Is that... Okay, well, we were close, but we made it. And we've learned the final... Wait a minute. Okay, now we've learned the Song of the Hero. Sweet. That's a pretty cool scene, actually. I really like it. The music's good, the art direction's good and all that. So that's definitely a pretty cool scene, learning that final song. So, of course, that song opens the gate to one final trial. And once we do that, the path of the Triforce will be revealed to us. Alright, cool. So that completes the Song of the Hero. It's pretty neat. So, of course, she's determined there's a trial gate, even though, Levi's basically just told us that. We can use our dowsing to locate it. Though, if you've really been paying any attention to the story at this point, you pretty much already know where it's going to be. Of course, there's been tons of hints that Skyloft contains, the next clue to get to the Triforce. So we're here on Levi. It's kind of a funny thing. If you try to jump off the front, you'll end up just like falling backwards because physics doesn't quite work in this world. And now I'm just doing all kinds of crazy things. All right, so let's jump off the side. He can be kind of a pain to get off of sometimes, but anyway, of course, now that we have the Song of the Hero at our disposal, we are going to head back to Skyloft and see if we can find that final trial. And as you can see, we have landed in front of the bazaar here. This is not where the trial is, however, I want to stop by Item Check and exchange our shield for the new Hylian shield we just got. So let's make sure to do that real quick. Oh, hey, look, it's Betro. He's actually made his way up to the bazaar. Let's see what he's got to say. And of course, he's overjoyed. I'd like to casually stroll through the bazaar, and here he is. Nobody's screaming in horror. Yeah, man, you definitely got it. That's cool. I never actually knew that Betro made his way up here. I never saw him before after we finished the side quest, so that's pretty neat. However, we want to talk to Beatrice here. And the woman who got over her broken heart and is getting prettier by the day. Okay. I think you're kind of stuck on this a little bit, but we'll ignore it for now. So let's go to our storage here. You can see there's the Hylian shield, and it's now taken top slot in our pouch. Let's finish up. Of course. All right, so now the moment of truth. Let's equip the Hylian shield, and, well, yeah, that's the Hylian shield. Looks pretty cool, actually. It's rather large in comparison to the other shields. You don't really notice it just looking at it, but I mean, it covers up basically his entire back. And you can also see its durability bar. I don't know why it has one, but it will never actually go down at all. So, the length of it is pretty arbitrary, I guess. But so there we go. There's the Hylian shield, and we're now pretty much decked out with the best equipment we can possibly get, which is always cool. So now we get to search for the trial gate. We can douse if we want. Though you can probably already see the butterflies in the distance. And of course, I mean, it's going to be by the big tower here. So, you can pretty much put two and two together by yourself. All right, so if we're ready, let's go ahead and strum. And of course, that's a tune we are all familiar with. I think this is a pretty neat way to actually hear it for the first time in this game. Because it's kind of the origin of this song as well, being like, kind of first, like this is kind of the whole birth of the legend thing. So it's pretty neat. Anyway, we've now opened our final trial gate, which means, yes, we have one more Silent Realm to do. Link is kind of standing on something here. It's a little weird. It's slightly elevated. I don't know. But anyway, we can ready our sword and now enter the final Silent Realm. I can't. Okay. The timing got all messed up on that. Sweet, so we have arrived. It's pretty cool to see Skyloft from kind of an alternate, you know, in the spirit realm or whatever you want to call this, the silent realm. So, of course, we already know the drill. We're going to have to get our Vessel of Light. Or Spirit Vessel. Okay, Vessel of Light was Twilight Princess, I think. But, you know, whatever. It's the vessel. So we know what we need to do. Once we fill it once more, we'll be recognized as the true hero. Which, of course, I'm not even going to bother complaining about how I feel this is pretty much unnecessary. No, actually, I did not have questions. Okay, well, there we go. But yeah, I mean, it's like, do we really need a final trial to be recognized? We have the, you know, the true Master Sword. We've got the mark on our hand. Isn't that enough? But, oh, well, I guess one more Silent Realm, you know, we'll deal with it. So, of course, when it comes to this Silent Realm, I actually don't find it quite as hard as some of the other ones, especially like, you know, the second and third. Like, I kind of put it on the same level as the first one, to be honest. The only thing that's a little bit tricky about some of these is that the Watchers are in slightly kind of tricky patterns sometimes. So really, like, this trial is more about avoiding the Watchers than actually having to worry about finding the tiers. Especially since Skyloft is really a place that you should kind of know, like the back of your hand with the number of times we've had to run through it. So you should be pretty much familiar with its terrain well enough that you can find most of these without too much trouble, especially with the Fruit of Light. You know, you can pretty much just tell what direction you need to head in. So really, this one isn't that hard, and it's kind of cool at the same time to be able to run through Skyloft in this kind of a state, you know. So as far as the Silent Realms, this one's probably my favorite. Not that I, you know, particularly like it too much or anything, but, you know, as this one's, I guess, is the least annoying, is the way I can put it. So we can continue along this path around the bazaar here. You can see there are a lot we could kind of go for, but first I'm going to head up here, because this is kind of a dead end that we can get to, and then, you know, turn around once we're done with it. So we go up here, and this is the entrance to the Knight Academy. We have this interesting little setup. I don't know why they bother with the fences on either side. But basically, once the Watcher moves out of the way, we can pull the box a couple times and do it again. I think from this point we should be able to just continue all the way. Yeah. Alright, so we pulled it back enough that we can grab the tier. We pulled it one too far, but we still made it. Alright, now we can head. Again, I don't know why they dealt with the fence, you know, it's like we don't get, like, kept off from this area or anything, but whatever. So now we can head around this little puzzling section that we did really early on in the game. So, you know, bet you didn't think they were preparing you for a Silent Realm at that point. Alright, now at this point, we want to stay along the edge in order to avoid that Watcher, because there's not a lot of space to run. And then once we're behind him, we can just grab the tier and then head back, and we'll avoid him that way. And before we jump down, let's get a bearing on where this guy is. Okay, now we're done with that section. So now we can head back to kind of the main part of the island and finish off the rest of the tiers. You can get this one, because we're going to have to go along the bridge, but I like to try... okay, well, my Fruit of Light ran out, which is going to make this hard. Oh, I was just a little bit off. If I still had the Fruit of Light, I probably could have gotten that. I always like to try that once, like, just to see if I can get it. I don't think I ever actually have. But it'll just put you right back here, so, I mean, at this point, we can just go down and do it the normal way. You know, maybe I was just trying to show off a little bit, but unfortunately, the Fruit of Light ran out. I wonder if I would have been able to get it otherwise. So this part, this one's probably one of the trickiest tiers to get in this Silent Realm, because we're going to have to wait for this Watcher, and there's this super narrow beam we're going to have to go out on. So let's wait for him to pass by. There we go. And now... there. You're kind of magnetized to it in some respects. I can feel it pushing against me if I try to walk close to the edge. So it's probably not as tricky as it looks, but it sure feels pretty dangerous. Okay, so let's wait for him to get past so we can head back in that direction. There we go. Alright, now at this point, this is a pretty obvious tier. This is one you might want to save just in case you kind of like mess up on this section and fall into the waking water. So I will, even though I don't think I'll mess it up. So we hop across the stones here, we can grab this tier, and that's it for this little section. So now we can head back. You know, like just in case you fell in the water, it might be good to have this one here that's super easy to get. But let's go ahead and grab it now. Now we can avoid these Watchers by staying pretty far to the side of them and they won't notice you. Okay, Okay, now at this point we're going to make our way across the bridge. You can see we've only got 4 left. I mean, this goes actually really fast. So let's wait for this watcher on the bridge. He'll turn around once he gets to the end of the path. And we can just sneak up behind him and grab this. Alright, so 3 more. We can kind of just hop over the edge here and avoid him. Oh, I almost hopped right into the water. That would have been bad. Now, these last 3 you can pretty much do in just about any order. What I like to do is start with this one over here in the graveyard, because this is actually pretty tricky. It's easy to get to, but it's pretty tough to actually get out of. You can pretty much just jump into the corner and grab this tier. But really, the only way back up is through this watcher, and this is one of the ones that will follow you very quickly. So I like to get this one first, just in case, because the other ones are actually pretty simple to grab. So we got that, and I can climb up here, and then pretty much just make a run for it. And from this point on, we should be good. He's probably lost us by now. And this one over here is pretty easy to get. It's easy to jump to, but again, it's another one that can be a little bit tricky to get out from. Because if you didn't see the waking water in this section before, you could actually very easily be surprised when that whole hallway fills up. So we're just going to wait for it to drain. We've only got 1 more left, and then we're home free. So let's run on through. Now, this last one looks pretty daunting, and it could actually be if you're, especially if you get really nervous about it. Because we've got these 4 guys going around in a circle, and you can see they kind of alternate between being really close together and then spreading out for a bit. And it's when they're spreading out for a bit that you need to try to run through. So there we go. And then that'll grab the last tier. Alright, so now we've just got to make it back to the entrance area, which basically is just getting out of this. So it's not too bad. Then once this opens up, we can run on through. And from this point on, we're pretty much good. The only one real last tricky part is avoiding this guy. So what I found to do is you can kind of stand on here, and that guy will just walk right past you. So now we can just make our way back. We're pretty close, and there's no more watchers in the way. So this one's basically done. Alright, and we have finished the final Silent Realm. And for our troubles, we've got the Stone of Trials that was created to lead the chosen hero to the hidden location of the Triforce. Sounds good. Alright, so back in the real world, we get congratulated once again. We've now passed all the trials, and I think Fi's going to explain a little bit about the stone. Yeah, it's actually one of a pair, and another similar object is probably somewhere else on the island. Once we get the 2 together, that'll open the way to the Triforce. Alright, so now we have finished the final Silent Realm, and all we have to do is find out where we need to place the next stone in order to open the way to the Triforce. However, I think this looks like a pretty good place to stop for right now. So let's go ahead and save and quit. Next time we will try to find the other matching stone to the one that we just received, and hopefully that will open the way to the Triforce. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.